Well, I'm just after coming home from work and thinking about what to say or do about our beloved and wonderful Aunt Anne, my godmother, dying on the weekend. From reports, peacefully, surrounded by her loving family, Tim, Marielle, Conchita, Sean, Danielle. Don't know if Uncle Art was there. But I know the rest of ye were. And from what I heard, you guys were in good spirits and were able to mark the occasion in a good way with stories. I wish I could have heard them. I really do, because you guys probably have some great inside stuff that we never saw. See, even though I lived with you for a while, when my parents broke up or were having trouble, and also when I went to Holland for, I think, my mom's father's funeral, uh, I was there for weeks, maybe a month at a time, going to school with you and living every day. Uh, and your mom was so good. She she gave everything you needed in such a way you didn't notice. You didn't notice anything was missing. It was brilliant. You didn't notice that she was trying. You didn't notice that there was any effort. You didn't notice there was any special things being done. It was just regular days of wonderful everything looked after. Your mom really didn't say much, did she? At least not to me. Not to you guys. Like, you probably can share some stories, and I hope you do share stories with people. And I'd love to hear them. Uh, but for me, she was just the soldier, the guardian angel, the nurse, the carer. She just made everything happen effortlessly, and everything appeared magically, and the place was a warm, welcoming environment to just be in. I mean, let's face it. Whenever the family got together, where did we go? We went to Diamond Drive, and we'd hang out there. And I was so happy to see the one group photo of all of us on the funeral home's website, of all of us sitting there when we were young. I think I was 12 or 13 or 14 or something. So everybody was like down to like 4 or 5 years old. It was a wonderful picture to see, and the memories of us always going there and hanging out, playing croquet in the front yard, playing kick the can, ravaging the cornfields, and being or playing soccer in the field over flying kites, uh, being, rambunctious kids that we were. And your mom would just let us go, let us do whatever we wanted to do, and she had faith. She had belief that we were good kids at heart, and she would just let us do whatever it is we kids do without much limit. She never said don't do this or don't do that. It was always just, it's going to be good. You guys are going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. And we'd be outside playing, and with the kids in the neighborhood, and there would always be, like, the neighborhood would come and hang out at Diamond Drive for the most part, because it was like the rock. It was the center. And that's down to your mom. The only time we ever got interrupted from what we were doing is when she stood up on the porch and clang, 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 clang with the bell. You got to come in, it's dinner time. And that's about the only time she really put her foot down. Dinner time. Or maybe when she trundled us off the bath. But to get clean before bed. But she was just like a rock. And if she did speak, if she did say something, there was a reason, and she was right, and it was brilliant. But she was just so good at giving us what we needed. I mean, like, whenever I think of your mom, I think of warm milk. I know it's silly, but it's like you can't sleep, warm milk. Achy knees, warm milk. Ill at ease, warm milk. Nervous me, warm milk. Oh, the good nurse Ann's got a big gold pot on the stove of warm milk. Warm milk. Warm milk. It goes down the throat like love wrapped in silk. Soothes away whatever does ilk. So very, very good, that warm milk. I remember most strongly the warm milk. The kitchen in your house being barely lit. Just by the light over the stove, or the light near the stove, and it was warm, and it was quiet, and it was soothing, and there'd be that pot on the stove with the handle, and a little bit of, just bringing the milk just up to where it starts to simmer, and there's a little bit of a skin coming on, and she would scoop it off and put it in a cup for us, and we'd sit there and drink it, and then we'd go to bed and fall asleep right away. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You guys are so lucky to have such a wonderful, wonderful mom. And I wish I was there with you. Now, to hear the stories, I really don't have any to share other than that. Like, I remember going to school and being a kid, and I remember running through the cornfields one day and stepping on a board with a rusty nail and coming home crying, and your mom was just like, oh, we'll clean that out. Here we go. Back to normal. Everything's okay. Nothing special. It was just brilliant. It's so sad when this happens. Uncle Ted, Uncle Tim, Auntie Ann. I mean, as kids, Oklahoma, you sort of expect that, but now we're getting older, and it's like it's a little more personal, isn't it? It's a little more close to home. Like, I know for my mom and dad, and for your mom and dad, when Opa died, and then that was sudden and surprise. That was something to, take in stock. And then Oma, she was in the hospital, kind of like your mom. And it was just a question of time. And, but, that was grandma, it wasn't mom. It must be very hard for you guys. And, this is something that's irreversible, isn't it? I mean, there's no going back now. There's no ever chance to say anything other than what we can do now and remember. I've been walking around for the last, 2-3 weeks. Whenever I got that first email about your mom wasn't eating, and even going back before that, when your mom was in depression and being crotchety, cranky. that was, I've been thinking about your mom, Auntie Anne, quite a lot. But the last week, 2 weeks now, it's been every day, and almost every idle moment. I have a picture of your mom that loads up on my computer whenever I start it up, to remind me, to show me, to remember, to feel again the quiet, wonderful love she gave. Like a silent angel, your mom was. Without bravado, without pointing out what she'd done, she just did it. I mean, there was never, oh, look what I've done for you. Like I went to this effort for you. It was never anything like that. It was just, it happened. Your mom was selfless and pure and only cared about the people around her, to such a degree that she was able to care for all the people around her without all the people around her realizing she was caring for all the people around her. Brilliant, brilliant. So from Ireland, here I am, saying to you, I wish I was with you. I wish I could hear the stories you have to tell, and do tell them. Share them with everyone there, and somehow share them with me if you can, because I'd love to know the truth behind the rock image. But then again, your stories could be the same one as mine. How brilliant and how wonderful she was. I miss you all. I love you all. And be good. And Maria, I know you do this for me. Hug everybody for me.